The chief executive of Iraq Energy, Luay Al Khatteeb, joins us live from the Credit Suisse Asian Investment Conference in Hong Kong. Welcome to First Look. And I wanted to first start with volatility from geopolitical risks. The focus now, of course, is Iran. Where do you see oil prices going for 2012?
Good morning, Caroline. The situation on the price volatility will continue to hit the market heavily because, unfortunately, the market very much dependent on views of speculators, and speculators play the markets on paper barrel rather than actual cargoes. What really the market needs is real information and update and real assessment of what the world needs. Now, according to what OPEC foresee by 2035, the world will need an added volume of 23 million barrels in addition to the 88 million barrels daily production of today. Now, this volume is twice, basically we're adding to Saudi Arabia. And for the only candidate that we could think of at this moment in time is to increase the production of Iraq. Iraq could play that role in the long term. However, in the short term, there are questions in terms of like the production plateau set by the bid rounds because of uncertainties on OPEC quotas and infrastructure challenges.
Mr. Al Khatteeb, at the moment, Wells Fargo actually is saying that U.S. growth could be dented if the price of oil rises above $125 a barrel, with 2012 growth dropping to just 2.1% if it hits $150 and just 1.5% if it hit $175. Could you actually see the price of oil hitting that sort of price range, hitting $175 a barrel?
Yeah, as I mentioned, without solid understanding of what really the market needs and proper forecasting, rather than depending on just generic speculation, is going to be a repetitive scenario of the 2008 dilemma when the prices hit high of 147, then dropped to $35. This will eventually hit producers and consumers alike, and especially producing countries were very much dependent on oil being as entire economies.
So you see
so it is definitely a very bad news. We can see similar scenarios. In fact, such scenarios could be very much possible under political and military threats on the Strait of Hormuz.
I want to talk about that political and military threat of the Strait of Hormuz because actually it's a transit point for about two-thirds of Iraqi production. Is Iraq able to compensate with more routes via Turkey, or is it forcing Iraq to diversify routes in the long term at the moment?
Security of outlets is definitely a key priority for Iraq, and this should have been taken a long time ago. Unfortunately, it is something cannot be done with the press of a button. To establish security of outlets via Turkey, northern corridor, via Kurdistan, or via the western desert to Aqaba, to Jordan, or Syria, or to south via Saudi Arabia to Yanbu, Red Sea. It will need a strategic planning and immediate action and a very solid foreign policy with these countries. Now, with with all what's happening now on the Syrian side, I would just put that scenario aside. But definitely via Saudi Arabia to the Red Sea and via the north of Iraq, via the Kurdistan region of Iraq, and via Jordan. Those are likely scenarios, and Iraq need to add a good 4 to 5 million barrels of production capacity through those strategic pipelines. But that will require some time. It is not something of a short-term resolution.
Luay Jawad al Khatteeb, Chief Executive Officer of Iraq Energy, joining us from the Credit Suisse Asian Investment Conference in Hong Kong. Thank you for all your views outlining the concerns for Iraq, of course, and how to diversify its production, getting it out to the world. And also, you see more volatility for oil prices. Thank you.